Okay, here we go. We are doing the work together 5-2 problem. The instructions are on page 128 in your textbook. And we're going to read through those instructions first before we begin. On July 29th of the current year, Deep Clean received a bank statement dated July 28th. The following information is obtained from the bank statement and from the records of the business. We have a bank statement balance, a bank service charge, an outstanding deposit on July 28th, and two outstanding checks, check number 103 and check number 105. And then we are given the checkbook balance on the last unused check stub. Prepare a bank statement reconciliation. Use July 29th of the current year as the date. So we're going to do step number 1. And it says that the bank statement is dated July 28th, but we're going to use July 29th as the reconciliation date. And it doesn't matter which side you guys start on. I think that as we move forward and do more complex items, that I would start with the bank balance, the bank statement side, because the information that we need is straightforward. And then later, as we get more complex, we have more difficult things to process and put here. But if we do this side and we know what the adjusted balance needs to be, then we know what we have to work for to get on the other side. Okay? So the balance on the bank statement they gave to us was $1,528. And outstanding deposits, there was one on July 28th, and it was for $150. And that's the only one, so that is our total outstanding. I want to insert the math symbol to make sure that you're not going to do the operations backwards. That would be a great idea. And so then we're just going to get subtotal in here. So we're going to add 1528 plus 150, and we get $1,678 for our subtotal. Now deduct means to subtract our outstanding checks. So we have check number 103 for $70, and check number 105 for $35. And you can see we can have space for a lot of them. And if this was your own business, if they didn't provide you enough space on the form, you could just do it on a scrap piece of paper. Because some businesses write lots of checks at the end of the month and they might not show up on the bank statement. So we're going to add those two together, 70 plus 35, and that is $105 of outstanding checks. And we're going to subtract. So 1,678 minus 105 is 1,573. If you do your math correctly and double check that, then we know that the other side needs to balance out to that same amount. Okay? So they gave us the bank statement, or the check stub was number 106, was the last unused check stub, and the balance on the check stub is $1,575. And we just have one bank charge to record, and that is the service charge. And the amount is $2. So we'll subtract 2 from there. And when we do that, it's 1,573. Okay? And that's exactly what we want it to be. So now let's label the steps of the process so you have a nice working document for yourself. So we started with the date here, and then we recorded the bank statement balance. I'm numbering the steps as we did them, you guys. The book starts on the other side. So if you follow the book steps, they're going to start here. But I think we move forward, it's going to be easier if we do the bank side first. Okay. Then we did outstanding deposits was our step 3. And then we found a subtotal. And then we did our outstanding checks, step 5. And then we found our adjusted bank balance, step 6. And then we jumped to the other side and recorded our checkbook balance. And we subtracted our service charges. And then we found our adjusted checkbook balance. And those two will always be equal. Okay. Any questions on that part? All right. Anything that we record here, we have to take that information and update the check stub. So that's what we're going to do next. And we need to record this balance as the balance brought forward. $1,575. Okay, there are no deposits to record on here, so we'll bring that subtotal down. And then here's our space to record the service charge. Minus $2. And now our updated subtotal, 1,573. Okay, so when you're done with that, you want to make sure that this updated balance is the same as your adjusted bank and checkbook balance. And the last thing that we have to do is anything that's recorded here has to have a journal entry. So we need to write the journal entry for this. Okay. And so we're doing this on, I don't know if you guys have seen this before. When there's a little gap here on forms that they give you, it just means that this is the next line available to write on. You don't need to see what was recorded up above to know. So we're going to assume that the year was already up there and the month and the day. So we're just going to put today's date, and that's the 29th of July. And a service charge is miscellaneous expense. And a source document is Memo 44. That's what the book gave us. And it's a general debit for $2 and a cash credit for $2. And they said to do that on page 14 of the journal. And those are all the steps that we do in the reconciliation process.